The Kansas City Royals are red hot. And yesterday, Ryan O'Hearn became the first Kansas City Royal to have 8 or more homers and 20 or more runs batted in his first 24 big league games ever. He is carrying Kansas City's offense, and they beat up the Tribe yesterday, sending the Indians to their 3rd straight loss. It's game 2 of this 3-game series right here on Sports Time Ohio. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Offensively, the Indians were just stifled yesterday. 2 hits through the first 8 innings. They did manage a couple of hits in the 9th. One of those hits came off the bat of Francisco Lindor, who hit home run and has put himself, Arch, in a class all by himself.
Boy, you're talking about a special year. Francisco Lindor got him on the board, his 30th home run of the year, and that is something special when you look at his overall work this season. The only player in Indians history, 40 doubles right on the number, 30 home runs right on the number, and 22 stolen bases this year. And not only that, that is something to smile about, but he and Jose Ramirez, the first pair of Indians teammates, 30 or more home runs, 20 or more stolen bases in the same season. Something very special.
And Mike Clevenger's been special, especially when he's pitching at home. In his last 4 home starts, he's given up a grand total of 4 earned runs.
Well, Clev's back on a very good roll. In his last 4 starts, he's 3-0. He's moving the baseball around with an ERA of under 2, a 1.90 ERA. He's pitched 3 times against Kansas City so far this year. He's 1-0. 4-0 in his career. The Indians are looking to stop that 3-game losing streak tonight. We'll see if Mike Clevenger can be the one to do that.
And the Indians have some right-handed bats in the lineup against the lefty Danny Duffy. We'll have all that and more coming up. Plus, Al and Jensen have the showstopper. And we'll hear from Andre Knott when we come back. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
Tonight in game 2 of this 3-game series, Mike Clevenger is on the hill for the Tribe. He's been hot of late. He is 3-0 in his last 6 games, has an ERA below 2. We'll see if that sort of trend continues tonight against the Royals. Hi again, everybody, along with Jensen Lewis. It's Al Pulowski. It is time now to take a look at our showstopper, and for that, we take a look at the New York Mets, who Jacob deGrom is not only a great pitcher, he can also hit too, and even drive in runs like he did here against the Dodgers. Jensen, the Mets won. deGrom got a no decision. He has an ERA at 1.68. Is he in the Cy Young race or isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 25 consecutive starts of 3 runs or fewer. That breaks a Mets record Doc Gooden had back at the height of it in 1969. When you think about what Dwight Gooden did in 1985 in just a magical season, deGrom is certainly in that conversation for the NL Cy Young.
Unbelievable. He's only 8-8 with that 1.68 ERA. As we take a look at the National League West standings, it continues to be close.
Well, Colorado, and that's a funny one there because they have blown the most leads out of their bullpen in all of the National League this year, yet they sit atop the Wild West of the National League.
Wild West it is indeed. And here in Cleveland, we have a hot Kansas City ball club. They've won 6 in a row. Let's send it upstairs to Matt Underwood and Rick Manning. And guys, when you're talking American League Central, I get it. The Royals are in the basement. But when you take a look at what they've done lately, they've been playing some pretty good baseball.
Yeah, Al, it's a good young ball club that's hungry. They're eager to impress their manager and their front office for the future and jobs that are at stake for next year. And they're playing free and loose and easy because there's no pressure on this Royals bunch. For the Indians, it's a different story. It's not pressure, but rather fatigue at the end of a long season. It may have caught up with them. And so with that in mind, Terry Francona juggling the roster or juggling the lineup a little bit. Michael Brantley getting a day off. Yandy Diaz in for him. You'll probably see Jose Ramirez getting a day off. And I think he's going to start taking a longer look at giving guys a breather here and there as we go down the stretch. Right now, we go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Those words are very true, Matt. You will see an off day tomorrow for Jose Ramirez, who's trying to throw things at me right now. But the word frustration has come up a lot in the teams in the clubhouse after games. They've lost 3 in a row. They've only scored 8 runs in those 3 games, 5 of them coming in the 9th inning. And last night, Francisco Lindor was very honest. They're frustrated, but he thinks things will change.
It's frustrating, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think it's just that point of the season, like late August, early September, where guys are just, dragging their feet a little bit. I'm dragging my feet a little bit. But it's not like we tired. It's just that point of the season, But we got to go back to play in the Tribe way. We got to go back to not taking any pitch for granted, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It's understandable. You go through a 6-month season, you're going to have some ups and downs physically and mentally.
Everybody in baseball that has played this game, they're tired now. Every team. There's nobody that's fresh that feels good, especially when your everyday players like Ramirez, like Lindor, they're out there. I think they've only missed maybe 2 games out of them all, so they are ready, and you know what? Everything will be just fine. It's a matter that they have to score and score early. They haven't been doing that.
That is the key, and you just hit the nail right on the head, because this is a club that when they have been able to score early and score first, they have been a runaway train. But they haven't been able to do that lately, and that has put them behind the 8 ball time and time again. And the offense just has been unable to dig them out of any kind of hole in the last week. But we'll see if Mike Clevenger and company can get that turned around here tonight.
Yeah, it's up to Mike Clevenger, who's going to be our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, to just put up a 0 in the first, and hopefully that offense can get him some early runs, because he's been pitching very well at home. Clevenger's record, he is 10-7 on the year, and this year he's 5-3 at home. And over his last 4 home starts, he has a record of 2-0 and an ERA of 1.40. 1-0 in 3 starts against Kansas City this year, 4-0 in his career.
The starting 9 for Ned Yost and the KC Royals looks like this. Whit Merrifield will lead it off. Adalberto Mondesi, he moves up to the 2 hole. Alex Gordon will bat 3rd. Hunter Dozier, Ryan O'Hearn, and Brian Goodwin in the middle. And then Alcides Escobar, Brett Phillips, and Cam Gallagher batting 9th.
And the Indians defense, brought to you by Ram, will look like this. A little different tonight. Geyer will be in left field. Rajai Davis gets a start in center tonight. Milton Cabrera over in right. It'll be Ramirez at 3rd and Lindor at short, as always. Kipnis at 2nd. Encarnacion gets a start at 1st with the left-hander on the mound. And Roberto Perez will be doing the catching.
Joe West, the venerable crew chief, will call the balls and strikes. Marty Foster at first, Mark Ripperger at second, Doug Eddings down at third. Kansas City, not only have they won 6 in a row, but 8 of their last 9. The Indians have dropped 3 straight and 8 of their last 12. But they still lead Minnesota by 14 in the American League Central, and the magic number is down to 12.
The amazing thing about this Kansas City Royal team that no other team has done this year, I'm talking about the Indians, the Yankees, the Red Sox, they have scored at least 5 runs in their last 9 games. And that's the only team to do it, believe it or not.
That is hard to believe. A ground ball foul, third base side.
Yeah, a team that was struggling there for a while to score runs. I don't think they scored 5 runs in an 18-game stretch.
If that holds, you could win a lot of money this offseason going around from bar to bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only team in baseball.
Why don't we do that?
Nobody would guess Kansas City.
No, they'd be the last team you would guess.
We'll just have to avoid bars in Kansas City. And probably here in Cleveland, since we've
mentioned
made that public. Yeah, here's a fly ball to left. Charging hard. Brandon Geyer makes the grab, 1 down.
Yeah, Merrifield hit the ball right on the nose. They stopped his streak of 20 consecutive games reaching base last night.
Adalberto Mondesi. He was 2 for 4 with a double last night. Or yesterday late afternoon. Mondesi batted 7th in yesterday's ball game. But Ned Yost bumps him up to the 2-hole and then basically just slides everybody down a spot. Gordon went from 2 to 3. Dozier went from 3 to 4, and so on and so forth.
Goes with a 2-0 changeup in that situation. And comes right back with it. I think that really is his go-to pitch when he has to throw a strike and a guy's geared up for it and he's behind. You can see the spin coming off of it, the way he holds it. Hitters swing and miss.
Short hopped at first by Encarnacion. 2 away.
Pickett Eddie.
Storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Ryan O'Hearn, he's put up big numbers against the Indians in a short period of time. He's only 25 years old, but the big man can swing it. And Mike Clevenger has helped the Indians bounce back after losses all season long.
Well, good to see. Gonna call upon him one more time.
Lindor giving Encarnacion a little grief over there. Alex Gordon fouls one back. He was 0 for 5, punched out 3 times yesterday. Caught in between a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-2. When I say caught in between, I think he was caught whether or not he should swing at it. It was borderline.
But he had to start it. He started a little too early and couldn't hold it up like that.
Blew it right by him. Clevenger sharp at the outset. The Royals go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat.
City. Duffy is 8-11 on the year, but 0-3 against the Indians this year, 2-9 in his career. And Duffy is winless in his last 11 appearances and 8 starts. His last win came right here, September 22nd, 2014.
Francisco Lindor will lead it off for the Indians.
Danny Duffy, a fastball, slider, changeup.
Lindor was 2 for 4 last night, including the home run he hit in the 9th inning. And on the season, he has been a handful for Kansas City, batting .365 with 5 homers, 13 runs batted in.
And he's been better from this side of the plate this year. .350 hitter.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Over his career,
he's been a thorn in their side, hasn't he?
No doubt.
And he probably will be.
This is crushed. Deep left field. Go to the bleachers. Gone. Home run number 31 for Lindor. And the Indians will play from in front. And on the year, when the Indians score first at home this year, they are 30-9.
Well, you know, it was a line drive, much like last night's ball game. It's going to be a heater, but only at 89. Now, that was middle of the plate. Danny Duffy can get that up there 94, 95, but this is the first hit of the game. He might not even be loose yet, and that ball leaves the yard. The Indians have the lead.
Yandy Diaz batting in the familiar spot of Michael Brantley tonight. Brandt getting a night off. Diaz the DH. He was 0 for 1. He had a pinch hit appearance in the 9th yesterday. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he hit a rocket. I mean a rocket off of Tim Hill. It came off the bat at 108 miles an hour. But somehow Whit Merrifield corralled it and turned it into a game-ending double play. There's a bouncing ball hit hard, and it's through the left side of the infield. And Diaz has a base hit. Another look at the Lindor home run, courtesy of StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Yeah, almost 105 miles an hour off the bat, and that was his 6th leadoff home run.
Rest of the Tribe starting 9 brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jose Ramirez, followed by Edwin, Geyer, and Cabrera, then Kip, Roberto Perez, Rajay Davis. Up high, and Duffy is out of sorts here at the outset, and the Indians have jumped him already for a run. The home run for Lindor, by the way, is the 6th time he has led off a game this year with a home run. Jose Ramirez 0 for 3 in yesterday's series opener. But over the last couple of weeks, last 29 games, in fact, so you're talking closer to a month, he's hit just .232. And in those 29 games, 5 homers, 17 runs batted in. Foul back out of play. One-two pitch up and away. .37 homers, 33 doubles. for Jose Ramirez. And again, Duffy way up
like
and away.
You know, he's still searching to try and find that strike zone, boy. But Lindor put a hurting on him on a mediocre fastball for him. And then Diaz gets the base hit, so he's struggling to try and find that first out.
Foul over top of the Kansas City dugout. There was the fastball.
Good job to stay alive. He put a little more on that one, and Ramirez just fouled it off.
Edwin Encarnacion waiting on deck.
This is the guy that usually jumps a lot of people in that first inning.
He takes his walk. So 2 on, still nobody out. Edwin coming to the plate, and Ned Yost has to be concerned. Key drive to success. Most home runs by a trio of teammates. The Indians have a bunch of them. Ramirez, Lindor, Encarnacion. And combined for 96.
Yeah, that's
now 97.
That is pretty impressive.
You noticed Yost, he went to the dugout to yell out at Duffy. Usually managers don't holler at the pitcher from the dugout. They usually go out to the mound maybe to deliver a message, but Ned Yost said, I'm not going to waste a trip to the mound, and whatever he said, it was to the point.
I remember another start earlier this year. He came out here and went to the mound, and he got on him for not throwing his fastball. And then after that, he ended up coming back and throwing his fastball and settled down nicely.
Edwin sends one high in the air to left. Gordon near the line makes the catch. And there was the fastball. Still not a lot of velo on it. That was only 90 miles an hour, but that is out number 1.
Well, let's check the Royals defense behind Duffy today. It'll be Gordon in left, Goodwin in center, Phillips over at right. On the infield, Escobar at third, Mondesi at short, Merrifield at second, Dozier is at first, and Gallagher behind the plate. Yeah, but he's, you know, not quite loose yet. He's in the mid-90s, 93 to 95 when he's throwing it right. He's just, I don't know if it's not loose or whatever, but you have to establish that fastball primarily to get going. And then occasionally you can mix in a breaking ball or an off-speed pitch.
Well, Brandon Geyer is at the plate with 2 on and 1 out. Geyer just 1 for his last 20. But he smashes this one into left field. Diaz coming around third. He'll be held right there. Gordon has a superior arm in left field, and Sarbat didn't want to take a chance.
Well, he ran through one last night in the 9th inning and ended up scoring. Sarbat says, no, we're not going to take a chance here. We've only got 1 out. We're going to stay put. Here's Gordon. Gordon gets it right before he gets to the base. He has a very good arm and more assists than anybody when you go back to the 2014. He has over 90 assists. So you stay right there. We'll move up one at a time. We'll keep the bases loaded for another hot hitter, Milky Cabrera.
Whoa, ball 1. Melky. A .310 average over his last 40 games. With 6 homers, 7 doubles, 20 runs batted in. Diaz, Ramirez, Geyer from third to first on the bases. A .343 team batting average with the bases loaded this year. And 9 grand slams as Melky takes up high. Melky has jumped right into this bases loaded fiesta the Indians have had all season long. He's 3 for 4 since joining the club.
Has not missed a beat.
And there is a strike, borderline, 3-1.
Well, he's having a tough time throwing any secondary pitches, so you might as well look for another fastball here.
Right back up the middle and backhanded by Merrifield. They'll get the force at second. Melky beats it out at first, and a run scores. A lot of action on that play, and a great stop to save the Royals a run there and get a big out. Diaz scores, so give Cabrera his 32nd RBI on the year.
Really a heck of a play by Merrifield. Look at it, goes right up the middle over the mound. I thought that's into center field for a base hit. Merrifield gets there on the backhand side, gets it to Mondesi, and they almost turn that double play. Heck of a play by the center part of that Royals infield. But they only get one. The Indians will pick up their second run, and Cabrera gets his 32nd RBI. Good hustle by him as well.
So 2-0 as Jason Kipnis steps to the plate. And there Duffy let it loose up to 93 miles an hour. Taking them a while maybe to get loose, but Arch, they've already got a right-hander up in the bullpen, so Kansas City doesn't like what they're seeing from Duffy here at the outset either. And Kipnis smashes one to right field. That's a base hit. Scoring from third is Jose Ramirez. It's 3-0 Cleveland. Give Kipnis his 58th run batted in on the year.
Nice 2-out base hit there by Jason. And here comes the pitching coach. They are, as you mentioned, they have a right-hander up, and there's a fastball up and out over the plate that Kip turns on. So he is his location, his velocity is not what we're used to seeing, and he's getting hit around this ballpark already. 4 hits in the inning. And they've taken a hit away from an Indian.
And here comes Nick Kenny. I told you, they don't like what they see. And I don't know that it's not, I don't think, at this point, maybe performance related. Or
right.
Maybe just, as you said, not the velocity we're used to seeing from, so maybe there is something physically wrong.
There very well could be. He's not throwing the ball like we're used to seeing. He's much better than that. The Indians have had, look at Eldred's talking to the manager. He's shaking his head.
Everybody's shaking their head no. So that means he's done.
Yeah, he's done. There's something wrong. And it looked like it too.
So Birch Smith, who had just started throwing in the Kansas City bullpen, will be coming on. And Danny Duffy makes a quick exit with head athletic trainer Nick Kenny by his side. And they're going to go give him a thorough once-over. And so the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen made with 2 out in the first inning. 7 men have already come to the plate for the Indians. 3 have scored, and we'll be right back. The way with tires that deliver superior performance in clutch situations. Goodyear, more driven. And the Indians out to the early lead, scoring 3 times here in the first. Lindor, a leadoff home run. And it didn't get any better for Danny Duffy after that.
No, I'll tell you what, he left a lot of pitches middle of the plate. Didn't have command. He threw a couple of changeups that really didn't look good. And his velocity wasn't there. We noticed the first pitch of the game was 89. They saved him of a base hit and 2 runs right there. Great play by Merrifield, but you know they saw he didn't have it, and they decided, hey, we've got to get him out of here. We've been playing good baseball. You know, you can't get buried in the first inning, although the Indians do have 3 runs. So if Smith can come out and get that final out in this inning, you'll be okay. Only 3 runs down and a long way to go.
Birch Smith will be facing Roberto Perez with Indians at first and second, and 2 out here in the first inning.
Smith hasn't pitched since August 26th. Matter of fact, that's when Cleveland was in town. That was his last outing. He went 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts against the Tribe. But there's Duffy right there. He's thinking about it.
Down low. Slows it down. It's in for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Chased one up high, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. Ned Yost liking what he's seeing from Birch Smith a little better than what he saw from Duffy. That breaking ball pulled just foul. Roberto Perez 0 for his last 9. Just 7 hits in his last 44 at bats. Fouled off to the right. Roberto staying alive.
See the blimp high above. We haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know if we've seen him earlier this year.
Well, you're the one with the connections. You've flown in the blimp. You called a game in the blimp. All you had to do is pick up the phone and get him up here. Swing and a miss. Down goes Roberto. The Indians continue to dominate inning number 1 this year. They have outscored their opponents 102-65 in the first inning.
Roster updates and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Mike Clevenger goes to work, up 3-0 now. Second inning. Hunter Dozier will lead off for Kansas City. Dozier has a hit in 6 straight games, going 11 for 24. Curveball just a bit high.
Kansas City is a ball club. They've been swinging a very hot bat, posting an 8-1 record over the last 9 games. .327 team average and a .370 on base percentage. 60 runs have scored, so you know they're firing on all cylinders offensively. Free and easy.
There's a strike called. 2-2. Wow. 96 just off the outside corner. 3-2. This one was outside, but not by much.
No, you're going to have to be on the edge for Joe.
Right center field, and that's a gapper. One hops the fence. Into second with a leadoff double is Hunter Dozier, and that's his 14th double on the year.
He likes swinging the bat against the Indians as well. Is this guy coming up to the dish now? He drives that ball the other way. It's a fastball down, stayed on it beautifully. Taking it to right center field, sending Davis up against the wall, gets it in, but not before Dozier can get the leadoff double.
Well, here's Ryan O'Hearn. 3 for 4 last night with a double, 2 home runs.
Young man off to a very good start in his early career.
You mentioned it at the time, 10 total bases for O'Hearn yesterday. The last Royal to do that was Alex Gordon, August of 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's impressive. His first multi-home run game last night, and then added a double down the left field line.
I mentioned in the open that he's the first Royal to ever have at least 8 homers, 20 or more runs batted in his first 24 career games. And over the last 10 years, only 3 players have hit more home runs in their first 24 big league games than O'Hearn. Rhys Hoskins, who had 12 last year. Gary Sanchez of the Yankees, who had 11. And Colorado's Trevor Story, who had 10 in 2016. So he is off to a very good start to his big league career.
Not only is he off to a great start, Matt, the Indians pitchers say the thing about him is he can hit it about anywhere in the strike zone. It's blown them away that he's been able to go down and get some pitches. He can take in the inside pitch. They're trying to find where to throw it to him.
Well, I noticed last night he likes the ball down, and he gave a couple of a pretty good ride.
Brian Goodwin came over in a trade from Washington. Takes a fastball for a strike. He's done well with the Royals, going 12 for 29. Clevenger gets ahead of him 0-2. Swung on and missed. Oh, Cleve made short and quick work of him. 3 pitches. And gets the first out of the inning, his second strikeout of the night.
Well, you're going to see him get ahead with the fastball because he walked the last hitter. There you go, strike one, then a couple of breaking balls. One on the outside, very generous there, but gets him to swing and chase that pitch right there. But his second strikeout, first out of the second inning.
Alcides Escobar. And the veteran takes the curveball low. Since August the 2nd. So we're talking a month now. Escobar has batted .343.
Clevenger looking for a little ground ball action to turn a double play. Escobar has grounded into 11 of them.
Takes that curveball. That one's in for a strike. That time he gets the call. Escobar begs to differ with Joe West, and it's 1-2. This looked like the same pitch he threw earlier in the inning, but it was called a ball, and it was off the plate. But he gets the call. Popped out of play. Unique look at the action from the Goodyear blimp. One ball and 2 strikes. Cleve delivers, and he strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks, 3 in the ball game, and it brings up Brett Phillips. Brings us to the injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Indians brought some more guys up from AAA. Brandon Barnes, Adam Rosales. Tyler Naquin moved to the 60-day DL.
Columbus is done. Season's over, right? No playoffs this year.
Yeah, they Josh Donaldson got to go down there and homer
for one day.
Last
Grand
game.
Slam. And
now he's going to go to Akron where they're in the playoffs.
Tomorrow, correct?
Yes. He was with the big league club here today working out. Lots of happenings here in Cleveland for a club comfortably ahead 14 games up in the division. Multiple players. Everybody had, a watchful eye on how Andrew Miller's progressing, how Trevor Bauer is progressing. Jason Kipnis met with reporters today talking about taking some fly balls and working out in center field. Plenty of moving parts on this club right now. The 1-1 swung on and missed. And Brett Phillips in the hole, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the one luxury the Indians have is the remaining month of September to get some workouts and do things like that, where you can get these guys back, and they're really not a rush. There is, but there isn't.
Two on, 2 out. And the 1-2 pitch. And Phillips fouled it off his body. And he stays alive. Roberto Perez goes through the signs. Clevenger takes aim, slows it down, and strikes him out. He fans 3 in a row to get out of the inning. Kansas City had been batting .322 with runners in scoring position coming into this game during their 8-1 stretch, but they failed to deliver here in the second.
I am excited. I'm excited for this team and this organization. I understand where they're coming from, and I understand that, you know what, I probably put us in this situation with not having the year that I'm capable of having. So it's a little kind of cause and effect, and but I got a job to do. I show up every day and work hard, and if that means switching positions, then I'm going to be switching positions. And I look forward to most challenges, and I'm excited to get going.
Rajay Davis leading off here in the bottom of the second, fouls the first pitch off to the right. Jason Kipnis. Look, he played the outfield in the playoffs last year. He's got some time to go out and get his feet under him. I think at the end of the day, the question is how much okay, when Josh Donaldson is here and he is going to play,
right,
how much does Jason Kipnis then play in the outfield if Jose Ramirez is going to play every day then at second base?
It probably all depends on who's pitching and what matchups are and things like that, as I believe what Tito will do. Because, hey, look, he did last year because it was out of necessity. He was working his way back in as Davis goes down as a strikeout victim. You know, when Donaldson's ready, he's going to play third base. Tito's already said that. Ramirez is going to play second. When Donaldson doesn't play third, if he does, it'll be Gonzalez. It'll be maybe Yandy. It'll be somebody else, because they're not going to flip Ramirez back and forth. So they got to hope that this guy comes back. He's ready to play, and he can play most games when he comes back. And if that's the case, then who knows? You know, that's going to be a trial, and we'll wait and see. I don't think that Tito can come out and say, hey, I'm going to play this guy a certain time, because I think Greg Allen has earned an opportunity to stay out there and play. He's done a pretty darn good job in the second half in center field and also at the plate.
Well, Rick, Tito told both Greg Allen and Jason Kipnis they're going to have to earn center field.
Right.
And it's not, and either one of them is going to be given it. Now, you were guys talking about in the last inning, it was 2 outs. You're just talking about just everything that's going on with this team and how there's a lot of moving parts right now. Tito compared it to last year, and he said that he felt like they went into the playoffs and there was too much going on. They were trying to get Lonnie Chisenhall back. They were trying to get Michael Brantley back. He says this year he wants to try to get this thing ready within the next 2 weeks, whether it be with Miller, with Bauer. Miller will throw on Thursday in Toronto off of a mound, by the way. He wants to try to get this figured out in the next 2.5 weeks so they don't go into the playoffs the way they did last year.
Right. I can understand that. They don't want to go in like, yeah, there was too many question marks last year.
And as you said, the Kipnis situation, they want to try to get that worked out. He took balls in center field today. You'll start seeing Hosey taking balls at second base in the next couple of days, because they do hope in Tampa Bay that they will have Donaldson and they can go from there with those changes.
The 0-2 pitch, ripped foul. And you know what, Andre, what makes this situation more unique is that because this is the time of year when you have expanded rosters, you've got more players here now, guys who, you know, look, they're not looking to come in here and, you know, get in the lineup every day, but you got all these extra guys, and now you're taking the guys who've been your everyday players and you're trying to get them ready for new positions. So it's just a unique situation that normally you don't find yourself in.
No, you don't, but I think the hope is, and we've seen with Kipnis, that it lights a fire with him and maybe gets him rolling going in October, because he's going to have to play a lot, because he's got to be out in center field and take balls there. And they hope that, you know, you get Josh Donaldson rolling. So that's the other thing. Josh Donaldson hasn't played, as we've said, since what, May 28th?
Right.
So he's, at some point in time, it's going to be, you know, on and off a day here for the next couple of weeks. But they want to see him play every day before they get there as well.
The 2-2 at Nick Lindor.
Yes, it did. I heard something. You're darn right. I don't know if it caught the arm or the sleeve or what on a high fastball, but he'll go down to first base, hit by a pitch.
I think it was right off that forearm, Arch.
Yeah, he was digging in, but he got back out of the way. It just nicked him, so good thing it didn't hit solidly.
Yandy Diaz, who singled through the left side of the infield his first time up. High fastball, 1-0. Yandy now 6 for 23 against lefties. After the first inning single off Duffy, but I think it's better to have him facing right-handed pitchers, whether it's just because he's faced more right-handers in his career, he's just more comfortable. I don't know, but he came in 351 mark against the righties, just 227 against lefties. Granted, that's a very small sample size at the major league level this year.
I think Yandy likes the ball going away from him
because he likes to shoot it that way.
Yes, he's off the plate. He doesn't like the ball inside as much as he likes it away, and he likes it. That's his strength. Is the ball right there, and he likes to shoot it the other way. Because if he was to turn on anything, and he is way off the plate, if he was to turn on something or to look in, and they made mistakes with breaking balls, instead of topping him, he could be drilling him if he tried to get the barrel ahead of the bat out in front. But that's not his style of hitting.
Way in off the plate. Lindor back with a dive. Frankie has stolen 22 out of 30 on the year. Yandy able to hold up. That pitch was borderline. Now he puts himself in a good spot here, 3-1. There's a good fastball. It was just about belt high, maybe a little above. And he swings through it.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you get a 3-1 count. It's a good fastball. He got it and he swings through it.
What do you think? Lindor take off here?
I'm not sure he'll take off right now. No.
He does not. And it's ball 4. So the Indians have 2 on, 1 out. And Jose Ramirez coming to the plate. He walked his first time up.
Well, the MLB Ballpark app is presented by KeyBank. The app lets you conveniently purchase, access, and forward your Indians tickets directly to your mobile device. Then have it scanned for entrance to the ballpark. No need to print tickets. And I'll tell you the reason why I said I don't think he'd start him there is because Yandy, not that he doesn't know the strike zone, you don't want to make it out on the base when you got this guy coming up next, you know, in case he swings and misses.
And to your point, Lindor was stealing at will earlier. He's been in a little base stealing slump of late.
Well, he's been a little too aggressive because he wanted to get to that 20 mark. And he finally did. Now there's no urgency.
So 2 on, 1 out. Jose Ramirez trying to do some damage to extend the Indians' lead. And he crunches one. Deep right. Back is Phillips on the track at the wall. He can't make the play, and he may be badly hurt. Coming around to score is Lindor. Diaz stops at third. It's an RBI double for Ramirez. And now the Royals training staff out in a hurry, and oh man.
Yeah, he went a face plant right into the wall on a dead sprint, going after that double by Ramirez.
Well, that's at least a good sign that he's up. That is a very good sign that he's up.
He hit that wall so hard, and I mean, he was on a dead run thinking he had a chance to catch that ball, and then all of a sudden that wall shows up and it doesn't move. So it caught him by surprise, and he's going to be sore, especially tomorrow. Let's hope everything's okay and in one piece.
I'll tell you what worried me right away was the frantic reaction of Goodwin, the center fielder. He was immediately waving to the dugout to get people out there. But that's a great sign to see Phillips hop up as quickly as he did. But as you said, Rick, that
he knocked himself silly is what happened. It was almost like a face plant.
He'll be feeling that one for days.
Oh, that arm and that shoulder. You look at, he's trying to get movement in it. He may think he's okay right now, but I'll tell you what, as this night goes on, it's going to get worse.
Well, look, you can't compare players and injuries, but when Bradley Zimmer crushed the wall in New York, you know, he bounced up. He kind of like this. You knew it hurt, but in the next thing you know, he hasn't played since, really. I mean, a couple of games.
I'd be surprised if they let him stay. He's going to have to talk his way in. Maybe he's saying he's all right, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, that's a tough kid if he stays in the game. I mean, he smoked that wall in the dead run, and he wasn't expecting it.
Wow, I think they are going to let him stay in.
Sure they are. He talked his way into it.
Whew, that's a tough kid right there.
Yes, it is. He's new coming over to this Kansas City team.
All right, take a look at this real speed now.
I want to see it again. Wow, head first, man, that hurt. And that right shoulder took a blow. Look at, he jumped and he couldn't brace himself. His arm got pinned against him, so his right shoulder got pinned. As he goes in, his head, side of his head, and the rest of it, man, that's a head-on collision with the first energy sign. That is not a good. He's a tough kid. He'll be doing that all night long.
At least in football, wide receivers wearing helmets and pads when he goes over the middle.
Thank goodness there's padding on that wall.
Edwin Encarnacion sends a high fly ball. Deep center. Back is Goodwin. He's at the wall and makes the catch. Tagging and coming home is Diaz. Tagging and going to third is Ramirez. Encarnacion's 93rd run batted in on the year. And it extends the Indians' lead to 5-0.
And the Indians come right back and put 2 on the board, so it make it a 5-0 game, and that's the way to extend it early.
And up comes Brandon Geyer. Base hit his first time up. And Birch Smith, a fastball strike. Just a little low. Well, Danny Duffy lasted just 2/3 of an inning before he left. 3 runs on 4 hits. And now in 1 inning of work, Birch Smith has given up 2 runs. Phillips continuing to try to shake that right shoulder.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him taken out of this game once he gets in there.
There's a line drive base hit in the left field, and it's 6-0 Cleveland. Brandon Guyer is 2 for 2 on the night.
Another nice 2-out base hit by the Indians. And there it was. It was a fastball right there. It was down. It was about knees, and he turns on it. So Ramirez comes in to score. There it is. Fastball middle of the plate. They'll make it a 6-0 game. This offense is about to wake up.
Well, based on the previous handful of games, they have woken.
Well, yeah, after that first, would they score 8 in their first game of this homestand, and then it's been slim pickings. Yeah, they scored 8 against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then it was 3. They did get 5 when Clevenger was on the mound. They got 3. And then 3, 4, and 1.
You know, the amazing thing, too, when you think back, the last game in Kansas City, they had scuffled going into that last game, and they erupted for 12.
Yeah.
Came home, scored 8, and you thought, okay, now they're getting, and then poof, it just disappeared again.
It disappeared, right. But they've been like that all year, Matt. We know. We've talked about it. You know, they come up and you'll see them for 4 or 5 games. You're saying, what's wrong, man? They don't look right. Then all of a sudden, bang, bang, boom, everything goes. They start hitting like gangbusters. Put up some big number.
That ball's hit hard, and that's into center field, and Guyer's going to go to third. So the hit parade continues here in the 2nd inning.
Well, the funny thing was Cabrera hit his first ball a lot harder than that one. That one gets through. The last time he had bases loaded and 1 out, they make a play on him, and it was up the middle, even over second base. But with the base runners on it, changed the defense. Already 7 hits now.
Here's Jason Kipnis. He had a line drive RBI single into right field in the 1st inning. And with Indians at the corners, a chance to really inflict some damage now. Already 6-0 Cleveland.
Well, here's Kipnis hitting the number 7 hole. It's the 2nd inning, and it's his 2nd at bat coming to the plate. So they have really had the merry-go-round circling.
Jason Kipnis, 11 hits in his last 27 at bats and 9 runs batted in. And Birch Smith has now made 30 pitches in the inning. Indians sent 8 men to the plate in the 1st. He is the 8th man to bat here in the 2nd. That's outside. 3-1. pulls that foul.
Well, Dozier at first wants to let the pitcher know that, hey, I'm sliding behind him, so don't try and throw to first. It's a full count. There's 2 outs.
So Melky Cabrera will be off with the 3-2 pitch. And Kipnis shoots it the other way, but foul.
Nice try. That ball away. He tried to shoot it down the third baseline. See, he had to reach for it, knew that ball was away. He says, I'm going to try and shoot it that way. But it went foul.
And that time he had him reaching for it, pops it up. And the inning is over. So the Indians score 3 more, and they lead it 6-0 through 2. Want to stay tuned later in the game for our Miller Lite Hold True moment. A beautiful evening here at the ballpark. Game time temperature 85 degrees. Mike Clevenger has made 33 pitches coming into this 3rd inning. He has struck out 4 Kansas City hitters. He's given up 1 hit, has walked a batter, and now has a 6-run lead. And Cam Gallagher's in the hole 0-2.
Well, Cleb, I'll tell you what, last inning after the first 2 reached, the last 3 batters, 13 pitches, 11 strikes, 4 swings and misses, and 3 strikeouts.
That's a way to go on the attack.
Boy, I'll say.
Curveball, ring him up. Strikeout number 5 for Clevenger. Down to Andre.
Well, the thing you got to like about Mike Clevenger is how strong he's been late in the year, last year and this year. You guys pointed the numbers out early in the game of how good he's been, how good he was in August. I talked to him about that, and he said the previous starts before that, remember when we were talking about he was working on his mechanics?
Yeah.
Trying to throw the ball a little bit harder. He said he lost some of his off-speed stuff, but he feels like in his last 3-4 starts, he's getting a second wind. Fastball's got good life. And he finally has a touch for that pitch right there.
Well, yeah, the breaking ball, the secondary pitch is coming back. I noticed again tonight, though, Andre, that first inning, he was throwing about 96 miles an hour. And normally he settles in beautifully at about 93.
He does, but they worked on, him and Carl Willis worked on his extension. They felt like he wasn't extending fully on the fastball, and he's been throwing harder since they worked on that. Remember the one start he came out and he threw hard for about 2-3 innings, but he couldn't find anything else? He's finally found a good place for all of his pitches with the extension on the fastball, but also the feel for where to let go on those off-speed pitches.
Boy, that's everything. You know, when you're talking about pitching, 1-2, fouled back. You know, the extension. You know, a lot of guys, that is the difference between getting just that little bit of extra. You talk about as a hitter, Arch, when the guy's got a little extra life on his fastball, it comes from that full-on extension.
Out front, yes.
Take another look, different view. Left field.
Boy, that was a different view.
2 down. Mike Clevenger clipping right along here as he faces Adalberto Mondesi, who grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, he's in a really good rhythm.
Mondesi went too far, and it's quickly 0-2.
Curveball, changeup. Now as a hitter, you really don't know what to look for.
Better be ready, because he's coming at you in a hurry. Mondesi turns a fastball around, and it is foul, not by much.
He was ready. Those hitters, man, they'll trick you. You throw him the curveball, changeup, get strike 1, strike 2, and then try and sneak a heater by him, and he was saying, no, sir. And hit it a long way, but foul. That went into the corner.
Bounced one in there. Off the plate, 2-2. Strike 3 called. Paints one on the outside part of the plate. Give Clevenger a half-dozen strikeouts. The changeup had him frozen. 6-0 Cleveland. Aerial coverage tonight provided by Goodyear, leading the way with tires that deliver superior performance in clutch situations. Goodyear, more driven.
Yeah, the last time our friends from Goodyear were here was last September 16th. So welcome back, fellas. Beautiful views.
New right fielder Jorge Bonifacio, not surprisingly, coming in for Brett Phillips.
Exactly. That young man hit that wall full speed.
Birch Smith staying on for Kansas City, trying to give them a little length.
Yeah, right now you need some pitchers. Someone may have to take it early in this game at 6-0. Even if it is September and there may have a few extra bodies in the bullpen. Still got an early game tomorrow, 1 o'clock, to close out this homestand and this series.
Fastball strike, it's 1-2. Down in the dirt. Slowed it down, just missed in off the plate. And a full count. Low ball 4. Leadoff man aboard.
Well, postseason baseball is right around the corner, and you want, when you purchase your 2019 season tickets, you'll receive access to potential 2018 postseason games right here at Progressive Field. Place your deposit today to secure your place at Indians.com.
Well, if the season ended today, and this just in, does not, the Indians would go to Houston in the first round of the division series, with Boston hosting the wild card winner,
which would be Oakland and New York.
And the only team, it looks like, Arch, that has a chance of spoiling that would be Oakland.
Right.
And even that might be difficult to do, just because Houston's playing so well.
Well, they're playing the Yankees. They can overtake the Yankees for at least home field advantage for the wild card game.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, which they're only a couple back there.
Which, hey, for them, I think that's a big deal.
Sure would be. Why fly to New York when you can stay out on the bay? If they could. I mean, that's going to be a major overtaking, but it sure is possible.
Rajay Davis goes down swinging. 1 away. Great clip of the game from yesterday. Francisco Lindor, his 30th home run of the season.
Elite company. Nobody else in the history of this franchise has done what he's done. 30 homers, 40 doubles, 20 steals the same year. Something very special year. That's incredible.
Already 19 career home runs against Kansas City.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, they're ready for him to move on and go somewhere else. They don't want to see him here anymore. 18, 19 times a year. Watch out here. Count is in his favor. He's been swinging it well tonight.
High in the air, left field, but not deep enough to do any damage. Gordon, 2 down.
We'll send out some birthday wishes to Mildred Feist, turning 90 today. Mildred, happy birthday to you. And Joe Marks of Westlake is turning 80. Happy birthday to you. Do you have any?
I'll make good. My bad. forgot to write this down yesterday. Our guy, Derek Dadich, his dad Dan is celebrating his 66th birthday. Well, he was yesterday anyway.
Happy belated. That's all right. We're used to the belated. I forgot to write it down. It doesn't come out of that phone as easy as it does your pocket on paper, does it?
You know, Derek does such a great job. In fact, the fans who watch at home, the StatCast graphics, Derek puts those together in the truck for us.
Sorry, Derek. Won't happen again. At least not next year. We're ready for it. We'll be all over it.
Got a year to prepare.
That's our problem.
Yandy Diaz has singled, walked, and scored 2 runs. Hopped out of play. Another foul ball. Yandy Diaz. 2 doubles, a triple, 9 runs batted in. Just in off the plate. In all, this is his 21st game that he has appeared in. And after his base hit in the first inning, he has 60 at-bats with the big league club, 19 hits. Up and in, and it's 2-2. And there's an example of what Rick talks about. That pitch really wasn't a pitch designed to knock him down, but the way Yandy's looking, he's looking out away. So anything that comes even remotely close to being in or in off the plate,
that wasn't that far in.
I know it startles him.
Sure it does, because his eyes are focused on the outer part.
See? That was a good pitch.
There you go.
Might have been borderline. 4th strikeout for Birch Smith, and the inning is over. 6-0 Cleveland. We've got Build-A-Burger, which is Al Pawlowski's favorite
Same
spot.
as long as it's gluten-free down there.
Progressive Field. Yeah.
Gotta be.
He goes bunless, so it's gluten-free.
That's one way to look at it.
Jensen Lewis with us here. Rick Manning, Matt Underwood, Andre Knott down there as usual. Clevenger looks really good here tonight. What are you seeing? What's making him so devastating?
Kind of the last couple of starts, and you guys have hit on it a lot, is the fastball command, Rick, we know has been central for his success to come back. And ironically, against Central Division opponents, it seems like that's been something he's been really, really good at.
He's been very good in the Central. The second best ERA behind Trevor Bauer.
He's had Gordon really locked up tonight. Swinging a miss there. He struck out in the first inning, and he was kind of in between trying to figure out that high fastball. Do I want to get after it? Do I not want to get after it? And by the time he committed, it was too late. By the time he lets one sail wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Always nice to get 3 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the second. Now you don't have to worry about every hit being catastrophic potentially.
Just changes your outlook. You know, you get a couple of free outs like here and 3 or 4 pitches.
That is a deep fly ball, and it's going to carry out of here off the bat of Alex Gordon. And Gordon really able to wait back and unload. He was 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts in the series before launching that one out of here, his 11th home run of the year.
That came on a breaking ball there. Gordon had the barrel head of the bat out, and that ball jumped and had the top spin on it and just carried out above the Indians bullpen. You see it stayed up top, 75 miles per hour. Watch the barrel head of the bat get out there, and it hits it, and it just turns the backspin on it. It keeps traveling.
For a guy with slider bat speed too, it's the one spot you don't want to miss.
It's the 18th home run allowed by Clevenger. You get in a game like this, 6-0 early, you want to be aggressive, don't you? Come out there and not necessarily have to throw that fastball for strike one every time, but you like to throw strikes and get ahead, don't you?
And we've seen with this lineup, you guys saw it in Kansas City, hyper aggressive when they want to try and get after the first fastball. You saw it against a lot of the starting pitchers, and really I think for young guys that's what you want to do. You want to see it up and out. Can I try and drive something? And what they've done really well, I think, in the past couple of weeks, take advantage of mistakes. You saw the hanging breaking ball right there. They haven't missed. It's why they've led the bigs in batting average the last 10 days.
Yeah, they've been very good. And they've always been a team that swings early. They don't rely on the walk. They're usually, almost last or second to last in walks. They're 13th this year. They want to get after it. They want to hit their way on, and they're usually a pretty good team with runners in scoring position when it comes to hitting.
Wow, that was a line smash. And it's caught by Lindor for the first out of the inning. I'll bet that was 100 plus off the bat.
Right in the living room.
Oh, man. It was only 106, I'm told.
That's one of those where you feel like you missed your spot in the right spot.
Yeah.
You hit it right at him. Thanks very much.
Well, let me ask you about that. Yesterday, Indians trying to make a game, but bases loaded, and Yandy scorches one. 108 off the bat. Now, if you're a pitcher and you see Merrifield make that play, you're going, oh, yeah, had him all the way, right?
There's been times where you've probably made the pitcher's pitch, and it ends up going over the fence. That's how it all ends up evening out.
What hurts more, a guy hitting the ball right at Lindor right there, or a little bloop down the line for a base hit? The bloop hurts you more.
Yeah, and it's probably because you executed a pitch really well. Something you wanted to do. You're ahead in the count. And you look at Yandy yesterday. I mean, this is a knuckleball right at Merrifield. He wants nothing to do with that, but he just has to hang on for dear life, and that's your game-ending double play. You see Tim, he knew it.
Yes.
He knew it. Got away with one. Definitely did. We've all been there, though, Matty. I mean, you execute a pitch, a guy hits it on the screws, and you think, okay, we escape one right there. You don't execute a pitch sometimes, Rick. You talk about the blue pit. Sometimes he skies it to the warning track, and you're thinking, okay, I'm living right.
Yes.
I'm living right. And then you put one on the black at 95. Guy takes you opposite field, and all of a sudden you give up the inherited runs, and your starter's saying, well, you're not getting any of my money after this.
There's hitters that say that it usually evens out. It never evens out, does it? Whether it's a pitcher or a hitter.
2-2 pitch to Ryan O'Hearn. And therein lies the beauty of the game, the confidence factor. And, you know, too many of those bloops fall in, all of a sudden you start second guessing yourself. Well, maybe I've got to make an adjustment. I've got to change. And now you've got yourself chasing your tail. And maybe that causes you into a big tailspin that you should have never been in the first place.
Yeah, it's a good point, Matty. And with Clev, what he's done the past couple of times out, you know, even a pitch right there, that's well executed even at 2-2 where you're setting him up still. He's going to try and keep him off a fastball. You know, when you watch Cody Allen, there's a perfect example of a guy where, yeah, the mind might be too fast in some sort of fashion where it's been that extended amount of time. Where in the past we've seen him just grip it, rip it. He doesn't think, lets it roll.
This guy, you talk about grip and rip. This Ryan O'Hearn is not getting cheated.
Well, they were talking, Andre mentioned something about fastballs. He can cover different quadrants of the plate or the strike zone. That one was up and in right there for a left-hander. Last night he hit a ball down and in, out, which you expect a left-hander to do.
Oh, that's a good pitch.
That, he made a great pitch.
You can see he gave up on the inside part of the plate, and that one just snuck over the corner. And that's 7 strikeouts now for Clevenger.
This is a really well executed pitch, but this is all set up by the pitch beforehand where he had the breaking ball down and in, and then you're able to run that pitch on the front hip and let it come back over. O'Hearn trying to dig out over the plate.
Why don't more pitchers throw the changeup that way? Why is it mostly fading away?
What you have to do, and they probably practice these in their bullpens, where you set up and say, okay, we're going to try this to a left-handed hitter. I want it to look like my fastball. How many times, you know, you guys watch and see Corey Kluber all the time. He runs the 2-seam fastball right at the left-hander's hip, comes right back over. Trevor Bauer does the same thing. When you're able to do that with a changeup and fastball arm speed, that's the key. Yeah. Fastball arm speed, because now all of a sudden the lefty's seeing the heater right out of your hand, but all of a sudden that changeup action, it'll drop it, you swing right over it, or you force weak contact.
You better make sure you get that changeup in off the
down.
plate, because if you don't, you don't want it running back out over the plate right into their barrel. And I mean, and that's probably the thing that can get in your mind if you don't make a perfect pitch.
And I think too, guys, and you watch the foul ball, that's where I read it here. Okay, he's out in front, he's cheating a little bit, he's got his hands right there. I got to force him into a weak contact position.
Well, Mike Clevenger continues to cruise along. He gives up the solo home run. It's 6-1 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. Let's take a look at our Levin Furniture player profile. 1922, Ken Williams with the St. Louis Browns was the first ever 30-30 man in Major League Baseball history with 37 homers, 39 stolen bases.
That's incredible. Well, wait, how about this?
48-ounce bat.
That's a tree. That's not a bat.
Well, look at, he's gripping the handle. I mean, those aren't handles.
I mean, yeah, there's 3 bats there, but I'll tell you, a 48-ounce bat, I'll tell you, that's 16 ounces heavier than any of these guys use today.
probably between, what, 32, 34 ounces
31,
today?
32. I don't think anybody swings a 34 anymore, Johnson.
That's a club. I mean, you remember guys that were just big, and maybe back when Albert Bell had them, you know, as far as that, but bat speed is key.
Albert used to love to have that handle shaved down to nothing, man.
Just be able to get it through.
Yeah, he could whip it through.
48 ouncer. That's about what you had at the Marble Room the other night.
Yeah, well, that's true. And it did have a tomahawk bone to it.
Here's Jose Ramirez taking a pitch down and away.
How'd you know? Did you check my
peeking through the windows? I was that guy out on the street begging. Jake Newberry, the new pitcher for Kansas City, third of the night for the Royals. And Ramirez taking a strike. He walked and scored in the first. He doubled in a run. He has 96 runs batted in now. And he came around to score again in the second. Now ball to first, backhanded by Dozier. He's got to make a good throw, can't do it. Newberry had to reach for it and just he couldn't get there.
I thought Newberry's a little late getting over.
Yeah, he was, and it wasn't a good throw to begin with either. Let's take a look at it again. Here he comes. He gets the ball. And Dozier, it's not a good throw. He sort of spiked it. He didn't get it to him. He was late getting over, but you can't throw it that low. I don't know what they're going to give him. I would give him an error here.
Bad feed, you're right.
That's
tough. That's tough running.
When you're running, you're a big guy. It's tough to get that glove down, you know.
No shoe tops without the wide receiver
Not all the pitchers
gloves.
are athletes. I know some are.
Don't give Al any ammo, okay?
I said I know some are.
Anybody who's ever played baseball before has done that, though. You're trying to make the perfect throw, and what do you do? You've done it as a pitcher. You hold on to it too long, and you end up yanking it like that instead of just flip it up there. But
yeah, another thing with that, Matty, and we watch Yonder Alonso a lot, where he gets it out early.
Exactly.
Where
he sure does.
You as a pitcher, you'd like to have the ball so that your complete focus is just, I'm beating the guy to the bag. So many times in spring training, you try and time it. I think he does a sensational job of getting it out early. Let me catch the ball.
He leads you. He leads you, and he doesn't really have to throw it too hard to you.
Wow, Newberry made quick work of Encarnacion, striking him out on 3 pitches. 1 down. Well, Jose Ramirez sitting on 29 stolen bases. Trying to join that 30-30 club. 1922. First time ever.
Well, let's see if he can get a jump, take off early, because even though it's a 5-run lead, it's still early enough in this game. He might be able to do something about it.
Looked like he wanted to go there, but he just didn't have it timed up perfectly.
This guy's quicker than average. He's about 1.2 to the plate, which is just a little bit quicker than average. Average is about 1.3. If he can get a jump, he'll take off. You know that. Good job of holding.
Yes, this is fantastic. This is exactly what you got to do. When you mix up timing, Ray, you don't necessarily have to throw it over. Mix the time up. Now his feet are getting heavy and he's in place.
Well, he wants to go, and then all of a sudden you get flat-footed as a runner.
And a good fastball in there. It's 0-2.
It's like the starter on the blocks. On your mark, get set.
Yeah.
You know, boom, and then you say go.
You're so
he
used
holds
to the
it
timing.
a little, right. It's all a timing mechanism.
Geyer goes down, tries to dig it out into center field. A long run and a diving catch by Goodwin. Boy, that was a spectacular diving effort by Goodwin.
He came a long way, too, to get that. He was playing a little bit back.
I like what Ramirez did. I was watching him. Ramirez was just waiting. If he doesn't catch it, he was going to go. But you have to wait. He makes a nice running catch.
That's fabulous fundamentals, though, from Ramirez, because so many times there where you expect the center fielder coming in to get it, you feel like you don't want to get doubled off first. Great job hanging out there halfway, because if he does drop that, first and second, you got one out.
Right.
Now Melky Cabrera. And he looks at a fastball for a strike.
Yeah, this guy might be a little too quick for Jose. unless he takes off and just times him on one.
He wants to, even with 2 outs. You can't fault him. He's
See him
smiling.
He wanted to, but he didn't get a good jump.
Newberry's he's done a really good job varying the times, varying the looks, giving Hosey something to think about over there.
There's a smash into right field. And Ramirez will stop at second base. The Indians have 2 on with 2 out, and Jason Kipnis coming up.
Milky stays hot. Nice job of hitting, going to the hole between first and second. And when you're Ramirez, I would have stayed there anyway to give him the hole until 2 strikes. He gets an off-speed pitch away, and you can see where Merrifield was playing up the middle in case somebody who throws over there. So base hit, keeps it rolling.
And up comes Jason Kipnis, who drove in a run in the first. Popped up with a couple aboard to end the second. Big chopper in the hole. Base hit right field coming around third. Ramirez will hit home. Bonifacio's throw goes to third, and very alertly Melky Cabrera jammed on the brakes and went back to second. It's 7-0 Cleveland. Kip with his second RBI of the night, give him 59 on the year.
Yeah, both of them coming with 2 outs. So, I mean, Kip he just hits this ball straight down into the ground, and it picked a perfect hole and a spot for it to go to right field. They didn't have a chance at Ramirez at home, so Cabrera makes a big turn and hesitates and gets back. So a nice 2-out base hit.
Well, it's got to feel good for him, considering what has transpired here in the last couple of days. And even before that, you guys saw him on the road trip, started to get a little more confidence in that swing. Another 2-out RBI for Kip.
The old rolled up magazine works every time.
We're talking to Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery, who do the pre and post for the Royals, and we were trying to see if we get our hands on a couple of those. I mean, good luck, Chuck. Get them in here. Kansas City Tourism Department.
There you go.
Holiday weekend, FedEx not working, so we'll figure it out.
Roberto Perez checks. It's in for a strike. 1-1 to count.
But isn't that funny, though? You can envision a guy, if he's really been struggling, to say, all right, well, I'll do anything. Do whatever I can to try and get my mind off whatever the bad habit has been.
It's the end of August and it happens
right?
like that,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, I've heard stories over the years of guys taking the bat home with them, taking it to the hotel, standing in front of the mirror in your room, trying to figure stuff out. I mean, this game will drive you nuts if you let it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just check out. Take the brain out, set it on the counter on your table, and then go for a walk. Come back about a week later, and then grab a bat and go hit.
2 on, 2 out, 1-2 pitch. Down goes Perez. Inning over. Indians tack on a run. Jason Kipnis, 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. 7-1 Cleveland. 19 Kia Sorrento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. All right, we go now to the 5th inning. 7-1 Cleveland on a beautiful night here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Bottom third of the order due up for Kansas City. So we were talking as we were going to the end of that inning about Jason Kipnis, everything that's going on, the trade of acquiring Josh Donaldson, and the move that will happen once Donaldson's healthy and ready to go. He'll play third. Ramirez is going to move to second. Kipnis is going to move to the outfield. And, you know, Tito has admitted, you know, Jason wasn't exactly jumping with joy when he told him what was going on. And he said, you kind of expect that. He's a competitor. He wants to be out there, wants to play every day. I'm going to ask both of you guys, as guys who've been in the clubhouse environment, how important is that balance of, okay, this is what we think is best for the team, but some individuals, it's not going to be good for you. And how might that play, and how do guys reconcile that and make sure that, okay, it may not be okay, you may have your feelings hurt, but we all got to keep paddling in the same direction? How's that happen?
I think the stock answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, you may not be happy with it, but this is what's best for the team, and you need to fall in line. You know, the old Bill Belichick, do your job. Okay. But he's got feelings. Donaldson's got feelings, and they're human. They've put in a lot of work to get to the points that they're at. That being said, I think Terry does a really good job of communicating what he wants and what he thinks is best for the player. And there's not a lot of managers that will take the time to do that and just say, hey, you know what, you need to do what we're telling you because this is what the team needs. And that's it. So I think what he's done a really good job of, and we'll see how it plays out because we got 3 or 4 weeks before October.
Right.
Is we'll see. How did that communication go through? Was Kipnis receptive to it? Will he take the Donaldson trade and say, I'm going to use this as fire. This is motivation to me to say, you know what, you made a mistake, and I'm going to show you why. But in a very positive way that ultimately benefits the team.
Prove it is what you're going to have to
right.
do. If you want to play, you got to prove to me that you deserve to play. And that's what this game is. Hey, nobody's too good to be taken out of a ball game. And he's had more than ample opportunities.
Sure.
Tito's left him in the lineup at opportunities. He could have taken him out of the lineup. He could have played Gonzalez. He could have played other people on the infield. He stuck with him. So now it's up to Kip to say, hey, this is the way I want to do it. So, you know, you go on it. And he will. You know, he will. He's a competitor. He's not going to take it. And I'm glad to see that he's not happy. Hey, this happy clubhouse is a bunch of crap. You know, you got to go in there. You just got to have
disrupt
fun.
her a little bit.
You go in there to win.
Okay. And the reason I bring this all up is because story out of Seattle. Big brawl in the Seattle clubhouse before the game tonight against the Baltimore Orioles.
Beautiful.
You know, pushing, shoving. Whether or not fisticuffs occur, we don't know, but there was a lot of mayhem going on, and Scott Service said, hey, you know, it's an emotional game. You got a lot of different guys. We got September call-ups, some tempers. You know, we got to work.
The family.
You got to work it out. They didn't let it get out as far as publicly what happened, but they knew because reporters were there outside the doors when the doors were shut.
There's some volume.
Hey, look, they spend more time with each other than they do their families. I think everything that's fine. You know, they'll work it out. You may have some issues. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that, because as a family, you have to grow through that adversity. And take Seattle, for instance. I mean, they're fighting for their playoff lives. You're a week out of first in the division. You're almost a week out in the wild card.
Right.
This is it. And it's good to see that, you know, maybe some of their leaders in there that says, hey, I don't like where we're going right now. And we don't have time. We don't have time to just sit around and say, okay, we'll figure this out. No, it's right now. And they've got a unique situation, too. One of their leaders in Robinson Cano having, you know, the PED issue.
Yep.
And that really kind of derailing their playoff hopes, possibly. They went and ran with it. Mitch Haniger's had an unbelievable year. They responded in kind. They kind of united with that. Now that he's back, interesting to see with that clubhouse chemistry how it's going to play out.
8 strikeouts now for Mike Clevenger. One down here in the 5th inning.
We'll see how much is made of that happening in that clubhouse. You know, they won yesterday 2-1. They won more one-run games than anybody in baseball. They've had a very good, solid year to this point. You can't turn sour on them now.
And I think, Matty, to your point, I know where you want to see these guys as Clef punches out another guy.
9 on the night.
You want to see with a guy like Donaldson, and I said it on the pregame show, he reminds me of Jack Parkman from Major League 2, where he's got the swagger, he's got the sunglasses, he hits balls out all over the place. Watching his batting practice today, he's going to right field with pop. He's a disruptor in a positive way because he wants to win, and he's got a killer instinct. Lindor and Ramirez, when you watch them play, they've got a killer instinct about them, but there's an attitude and an edge, I think, and maybe Edwin has probably got the best, you know, insight as to how Donaldson is in the clubhouse. And we'll see it play out. But I think for him, and the energy and kind of that edge he brings, he's a positive disruptor.
I hope he's healthy because he's a dynamic player, one of the best players in the game.
MVP
up until
caliber
he
guy.
was hurt.
Yeah.
So he can be very dynamic. And if this club gets the good one, look out offensively.
He makes one swing or starts one double play in October that changes a series. Or you think about what one player and one play makes. Lindor hitting the grand slam against the Yankees, that turns everything around in game 2. You think about what Donaldson's presence was when the Indians had to go through that vaunted part of the lineup 3-4 times a night to beat Toronto, and that they were one of the great offenses that year in the entire league. He's a guy that, as you said, when he is right, that's an MVP at third, an MVP candidate at short, an MVP candidate at second. No other club can say they have that.
2-1 pitch is down low, 3 balls and a strike on Whit Merrifield, who is 0 for 7 in the series. Well, and for those fans who haven't been following along and maybe don't have all the details on Josh Donaldson, on the disabled list, retroactive to September 1st, eligible to come off when the Indians are in Tampa on September 11th. And if all goes well, they expect him to be activated for that game down in Tampa. And then it will be interesting just to watch. Just to watch and see what happens.
Nice way to cap off that trip.
Yeah,
because they got some guys that can throw some gas.
We just saw it firsthand.
Yes, we did. I'm looking forward to it right now.
3-2 fouled away by Merrifield.
I understand too where selfishly he would love to have gone to Toronto.
Yes, understandable.
And at that point, I think that's another part where Tito steps in and says, I get it. I understand the human part of this. You mean more to us than a 4-game series north of the border.
By the way, only in the second inning, but Houston out in front of Minnesota 4-0 tonight. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, ground ball right at Lindor. He'll have to go the long way to first, and on one hop, he nails Merrifield to end the inning. Halfway through, Cleveland 7, Kansas City 1. Rajay Davis, Frankie Lindor, Yandy Diaz due for the tribe. Jake Newberry stays on for a second inning of relief work. I'm sure a lot of these folks, as they're settling in, say, now this is a little more like it.
Oh, they like blowouts, I see.
Well, they like to see some offense early,
yeah,
establish it, and let the pitcher settle in.
Understandable. Clev's dealing.
Well, you talk about the 3 spot in the first and then the second, Matty. Tribe had scored just 2 runs combined in the first 6 innings of the last 4 games.
And that's what's amazing, because this team has thrived by jumping out, grabbing that early lead, kind of putting their foot down on the other guy and just saying that's it.
Yeah, it's that I think is so unique to this club too, because it changes as a starting pitcher. You just become hyper aggressive and say, all right, pitch to the scoreboard, as Terry Francona talks about. But the offense has been so good, especially in the division, doing that as well.
I mean, just consider this, because we thought this was kind of interesting. We started tracking it last year. You get the lead after the second inning. Now, what's 2 innings in a 9-inning game, right? You don't really think of that as being that big of a deal. But the Indians are 37-16 overall this year when they lead after just 2 innings.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some injury updates. Danny Duffy has some tightness in the left shoulder. Makes sense.
Looked like it.
Yeah.
He wasn't loose. His first pitch at 89 miles an hour.
And there's a ground ball to short, going to be backhanded by Mondesi and throws him out. And Brett Phillips dealing with a right shoulder contusion.
That's the worst of it, hopefully.
Let's hope so, right?
Plus, he sees about 7 clubhouse kids in there, and there's only 2. Well, he knocked himself silly.
Slammed into that wall head first. Shoulder took the brunt of it at full force.
He went. I'm surprised they let him stay out there, because the rest of that inning he was working that right shoulder. You could tell something happened to it. And wait till tomorrow, he's really going to feel it.
It's a scary part about those portions of the ballpark where it's just straight concrete behind it.
Yeah, no give.
Yeah, and if you think about where the Indians, bullpen section is there, we see Ramirez hit it. He's full tilt too.
Watch this.
Just
I mean to tell you, he's lucky. He took his hat off and he ran face first. He kissed the E.
And even if he would have gone in, if that ball's over where the Jimmy John's portion is and where the Indians bullpen and they've got that cage section, there's a little give there, but not much.
Into foul ground. Alcides Escobar, 2 down. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Frankie Lindor started it off with his 6th leadoff homer of the year. And then in the second inning, after the Indians led it 3-0, Jose Ramirez made it 4-zip with that RBI double we just showed you. And they tacked on a couple more. Brandon Guyer finished the second inning score with an RBI single. They added a run in the 4th, and it's 7-1. The only run for Kansas City, a solo homer by Alex Gordon in the 4th. And that's one of only 3 hits allowed by Clevenger. 2 down, Yandy Diaz. This is hit well. Deep center, back is Goodwin. He's out of room, and it's out of here. Yandy Diaz, his first home run. And a big smile as he rounds the bases. (8-1) Cleveland.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the silent treatment, but I see him walking into the dugout coming to this end.
It'll be more about getting the ball back after that.
Look at no, they're going to treat him right. I thought they were going to be quiet. I really did. His first of the year.
First of his career, man. That's a good way to go. Lapo Taco.
Diaz. Another look at the home run.
Breaking ball. Down about middle of the plate at the knees. Loves it away. To shoot it that way anyway.
Send a check over to Michael Brantley for taking the day off. Hitting the 2 spot today.
In his 70th career game, Yandy Diaz gets that first major league home run.
Well, it's not for a lack of hard hit balls all over the ballpark. I mean, he's hitting everything on the screws since he's been called back up.
Yeah, but he doesn't elevate the ball. He hits line drives, you know. He stays on them.
Andre's been telling him to swing like that since he got here.
Well, Andre's the hitting coach. He knows better. And I bet that he was laughing at Andre going around.
I told him it only took him 70 games. What took so long?
I knew you had something to say.
But you know what Jensen said earlier watching Donaldson hit, how he drives it. Yandy does the same thing in batting practice. He drives it out of here right center during BP. I think he's getting to the point where he's starting to get that swing, that backswing going up a little bit to start hitting some more home runs.
He's one of those guys as a pitcher, when you watch his mechanics and you see his hands, you're trying to read a swing. The barrel of the bat, like Michael Brantley, the barrel of the bat stays in the strike zone for such a long time, and he covers so much real estate with it. It's so difficult to miss.
Edwin Encarnacion with Jose Ramirez at first and 2 down. I think what's going to be interesting to see as we go forward, Jensen, not talking about this year, but you know, next year, depending on the kind of role that Yandy Diaz may have on the ball club. You know, a hitting coach told me years ago, if you show me a guy who can hit for pretty good average, you show me a guy who has good contact and hits the ball hard, I'll teach him to hit with power. But if you got a guy who swings and misses a lot, I can't teach him to hit home runs if he's not making contact with the ball. So with Diaz, I think a lot of the components are there that we may one day see him be able to hit for power too. This is blooped and caught by Merrifield. We'll continue that conversation as we head to the 6th with the Indians up 8-1. Mike Clevenger. That's a pretty good breaking ball right there.
Taking on slow-mo. A couple of curve balls and a changeup.
I love that camera. That is such a great look at.
See how it slows down,
Yeah.
and those batters, they just can't wait long enough. And there's another nice changeup there.
Our boy Steve Bardo putting those great packages together for us in the postgame show.
He doesn't need any of that.
I'm just saying it helps. It helps to illustrate because you know we're so used to watching this, guys. We've seen thousands and thousands of pitches a year, but you know, for the viewer at home to be able to see the rotation, just to see how difficult it is to pick up the spin.
Yeah, when you're in the batter's box and you have to try to hit it and then catch up to a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, it puts it in perspective.
Chop to first, easy play for Edwin. 1 down.
I know you were talking Yandy and the elevation factor. We heard when Frankie Lindor was coming up, hey, this guy's going to be able to put the ball in play. He's going to have great contact. Not a lot of juice there. The power might be the last thing to come. We didn't have to wait long.
Didn't take long, boy. You're not kidding.
Certainly did not. And maybe that is with Yandy. The more he plays, maybe the more Ty Van Berkeley looks and says it's something we can do.
Deep left, back goes Geyer.
Yeah, but the question is, can you find him a position? It's not going to be on the infield.
The roster construction will be fascinating after this year.
Those are questions that will be answered in the offseason.
Yeah. If I was on this ball club, I would not want to be an infielder. I would want to be an outfielder. The opportunity could be there.
Yep.
You know, Michael Brantley is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. And you've got Greg Allen, who is probably the 4th or 5th outfielder, in the minor leagues, who's playing now out in center field. We never even had Milky Cabrera out there. It was Chisenhall. He's a free agent. He probably will not be back next year. He hasn't played in the almost 2 years.
I'm hoping at some point Yandy will donate his hair to Andre.
I would love to see that.
Wow.
A troll doll.
Well, us both. Andre, I don't know, man. What do you think? We both try and do the dark Yandy wig?
Yeah, don't do that. You know what the internet will do by the time we get to the 8th inning?
That would be awesome. Look at that.
I wouldn't know how to take care of it.
There is Adobe Photoshop being fired up everywhere right now.
And then you would need a gold chain, Andre.
Well, I'll ask both of you guys. What do you think a time up here does for a guy like Yandy? Having some success, being around here rather than being Columbus, where he may not think he has a chance.
Oh, where he was, maybe pouting or doing something like that.
Right, and he stopped doing that.
Look, you know what? Some guys, I mean, they play their way out of AAA. They have nothing to live for down there. And their only place to play is the big leagues, but you have to find them some at-bats.
Hunter Dozier down swinging. Count them 10 strikeouts for Mike Clevenger. Middle of the 6th, 8-1 Cleveland. Comes to a close as well. Corey Kluber will go for the Tribe, looking for his 18th win of the year. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 12:30. All the action at 1 here on Sports Time Ohio. We're streaming live on Fox Sports Go. New pitcher for Kansas City. And it's going to be
Jerry Vasto. The left-hander just called up today from Omaha. He only made one appearance for the Storm Chasers, so their season's over. He's up to the big leagues, and he's into a ball game.
Brandon Geyer, 2 for 3 today. And if not for a really good, exceptional play in center field by Goodwin, He'd be 3 for 3.
He started to swing it a heck of a lot better. And, you know, you talk about a guy with limited opportunities. Wayne Melky's been swinging it. It's going to be tough for him to crack the lineup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. All right. Here's your platform. Jacob deGrom. Yes or no, Cy Young?
Yes.
Okay.
Because in our age of analytics now, where they're throwing out the wins and losses, and don't count me as one of the people that wants to do that, because I still think there is merit to it. But you're telling me 25 consecutive games of 3 runs or less. Consecutive. All right, not 24 out of 25, 25 through, with the anemic run support that he's had. He has defied what it has meant to be able to just hang in there and try and keep your team in a game. Because you talk about scoring early for the Indians, it's been one of their MOs to win a lot of games. Well, the Mets can't find a way to even scratch out a lead for him, let alone run support.
I think it's ridiculous if anybody were to say that he's not in the conversation.
He's squarely
because
there.
he only has 8 wins. That to me is ridiculous, because we watched Kevin Millwood win the AL ERA title and he had 9 wins that year, a losing record. That wasn't his fault. It was because, again, run support, the things that are beyond his control. But I would just say Max Scherzer, to me, is, I think he's the lead dog in that race.
Well, it very could be. But I want to make one point with deGrom. He's faced over 550 hitters where he's either faced them with a 1 run up, even, or 1 run down. So, I mean,
margin of error
right there, because they don't score for
Right.
him. So, I mean, every guy he's facing seems like it's a 1-run game, no matter where he's been. That's good. But, yeah, and the guy in Philadelphia, Nola's not too shabby either. And he's beaten our boy in Washington twice.
Scherzer,
yeah, he's beaten him twice.
It's a tight race, and it's going to be an interesting final vote. Gordon couldn't get there because he needed a ticket.
You know, I think it'll come down to the last 4 or 5 starts for these guys.
And if you look at the peripheral numbers, take the record out of it, and field independent pitching coming in, that played a key role in Corey Kluber getting past Felix Hernandez in 2014. Felix had the 1 slip up, second
last
to last
game,
start,
wasn't it against Toronto?
Yes, and that kind of allowed Corey to get by him. But they were neck and neck.
Well,
yes, they were.
Here's the other thing, too, guys. In earned run average, deGrom, Nola, Scherzer. They're also 1-2-3 in innings pitched, and they're 1-2-4 in strikeouts.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's one of those 3.
You're going right down to the wire.
I think you're right. I mean, these last couple of starts could sway it one way or the other. Kipnis drives one pretty well deep left field. Gordon back on the track, makes the catch. The Indians go in order. See you later on Indians Live.
You got it, boys.
Jensen Lewis stopping by. It's 8-1 Cleveland through 6. Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. It is a beautiful night here at the ballpark. Warm temperatures, 85 at game time. And the Tribe heating up with the bats. They got 3 in the first, 3 in the second. They added 1 in the fourth and a home run in the fifth from Yandy Diaz, his first. And it's 8-1 Cleveland. Oliver Perez takes over for Mike Clevenger. After the right-handed starter went 6 innings, allowed 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 10. Through 68% strikes tonight.
Looking to go 2-0 against Kansas City this year and 5-0 in his career.
Oliver Perez, boy, has he been good. And I mean,
yeah, he's been really good.
Missed inside, ball 1. Defensively, Eric Gonzalez takes over at second base. Brandon Barnes is your new right fielder. Little tapper. It's going to stay fair. Oliver throws him out.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
1 down here in the 7th inning. Brian Goodwin 0 for 2 has struck out, grounded out. Well, that Tampa Bay pitching is continuing to do a number. They're up in Toronto and they have 2-hit shutout baseball into the bottom of the 8th. And the Rays lead that game 4-0.
Boy, really tied him up. He was lucky. He's smiling. He was lucky to stay alive there. That pitch is way in. Perez said, let's go back in.
Oh, except he went too far in and hit him.
Just a bit. Yeah, there's no way he could get out of the way of that one. Caught him in the shoulder or right arm, and out comes Tito.
So a ground out, a hit batter, and the night is over for Oliver Perez. Right-hander Adam Simber coming on when we come back.
purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck here at Progressive Field and are only available at Indians.com/kids ticket.
Adam Cimber is the new Cleveland pitcher. And Alcides Escobar, the batter, he is 1 for 2. This will be interesting to see how this matchup plays, because Cimber, he's looking for a ground ball. That's the kind of pitcher he is. And Escobar is a guy that likes to stay inside the ball, and he has hit into 11 double plays this year.
He can hit it anywhere. I mean, he's a guy that he'll find a way to put the bat on the ball normally.
Oh, it gets away from Perez, and that's going to send Goodwin down to second base.
That's a wild pitch.
It is scored a pass ball.
Oh, okay.
On the catcher Perez. There's a line drive center field and a base hit. Goodwin did not get a good read on that at all. He'll stop at third. And the Royals have runners at the corners with 1 down. You can watch Goodwin. I don't know if he thought somebody was going to catch this ball.
Yeah, that's not knowing where the defender was prior to the pitch being made. That's homework that you should already be implanted in your mind before that pitch is thrown, where that defender is located. He didn't know it. I know he's new to this league, but that's just 101, baseball 101 right there.
Well, here's Jorge Bonifacio. This is his second at bat of the night. He came on for Brett Phillips, who left with a banged up shoulder when he crushed the wall in right field defensively for Kansas City. I would say it's highly unlikely that we'll see him tomorrow in the series finale, being that it's a quick turnaround in a day game.
I would bet you're right. So and Kluber's pitching.
Probably be Bonifacio in the lineup again tomorrow. The 1-1. Back out of play.
It would be, because if I'm not mistaken, Bonifacio has hit Kluber very well in his career.
Tune in tomorrow to find out.
It's only 4 for 5.
Oh, see, you just we're trying to.
They'll tune in tomorrow. Well, they're coming to the ballpark.
They're coming anyway. Here's the 1-2. In off the plate. Good take by Bonifacio, and it evens the count. Ground ball in the hole. Ramirez cuts it off, goes to second. There's one. Gonzalez tries to turn the double play and launched it over the top of the dugout.
Well, if you're going to throw it away, make sure it's a long way away, and he certainly did, up over the dugout of the Royals. So they will get a run. Get the fielder's choice. I don't know if he would have been able to really turn it, but you can see that ball really just took off, and there was no chance. Hits their dugout and goes in to the dugout. So that'll be an error after the fielder's choice.
stays fair. Roberto says, "I've got it." And the inning is over. Royals get a run here in the 7th. Stretch time, 8-2 Cleveland. Your performance in clutch situations. Goodyear, more driven. What a beautiful sight. Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland, Ohio, on a gorgeous night. The Indians up 8-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. First, a game break with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's head down to Houston, where the Astros scored 4 in the bottom half of the first inning, including this 2-run home run by Yuli Gurriel. His 10th home run of the season put the Stros up 4-0. Minnesota scored a run in the top of the 3rd, so it's 4-1 there. Trevor May is gone after 1 inning for Minnesota. Gave up 5 hits and all 4 Houston runs. Back upstairs, fellas.
All right, thank you, Al.
Things hold up there. Then what magic number goes down to 10?
If the Indians hold on and the Astros do the same, yeah, we would be down to 10 heading into tomorrow. Brandon Maurer is the 5th pitcher of the night for Kansas City. Roberto Perez leading it off. Time was called and the pitch is down low anyway. Maurer literally warmed up for 40 seconds. Because for whatever reason, Kansas City players were asleep in the dugout. They got about 45 guys this time of year, but nobody went out to warm up the pitcher, so they had to wait until Cam Gallagher got all his gear on, and by the time he got out there, the clock was down to 40 seconds. And the count 2-0. Roberto Perez has struck out twice. He walked in the 3rd. Swings and pops it up. First baseman Dozier. 1 away.
To the plate now for the Indians, number 26.
Rajay Davis to the plate. And he takes a strike. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the old do-over.
Well, he's in a hurry. He's getting the ball. He's getting on the mound. He's saying, let's go. Hitters aren't ready.
And he hit him with a breaking ball. So the Indians have a one-out base runner.
People are going to say that's intentional, but it is a breaking ball, and I don't think there was any intent there.
So Rajay Davis aboard with one out here in the 7th. And Francisco Lindor to the plate. Homered in the 1st, hit by a pitch, scored in the 2nd. Has fouled out since then. Lou Boudreau back in 1948 with 116.
He's got about 25 more games to go to add on to those numbers. The great Lou Boudreau.
Center field. Good one. 2 down. Miller Lite hold true moment. 70 games in the making. First home run for Yandy Diaz in the big leagues. Second hit of the night. He has scored 3 runs, and look at that smile.
Been waiting a long time for that.
Oh, Yandy. Back out of play. Fastball out of the zone. And it's a strike on the outside corner. That was a good hard slider. Out of play. Fouled right back. You know, we were talking, I think, yesterday about the National League wild card race.
Yes.
And how you can make a case legitimately for about 6, 7 different teams that could possibly end up tied, jumbled up together in that mess. Part of what's crazy is that, you know, teams like the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, who are in the wild card race, they're a half game and a game and a half out, respectively, for the division race. So
true. So all those teams are lumped together with Colorado.
Yeah. And you figure, I don't know the schedules offhand, but you figure there's a lot of head-to-head matchups between those 3 in the month of September.
You would think so.
Right field. High and deep.
Did he?
Bonifacio's back. He's at the wall. He leaps and he can't make the play. It's off the fence. Scoring is Raj. Into third is Yandy. It's an RBI triple for Davis. What a night he's having. 9-2 Cleveland.
Well, there's a play there that Bonifacio, he jumped for a ball he didn't have to. I mean, that ball wasn't up against the wall. It'll be a triple. It'll be his second triple. Watch as he goes back to play it. You have to get back to the wall. He felt like he was right there and he had to jump up, and he still had a good step to get back to the wall. But once it gets over his glove, Yandy picked it up and he's able to scoot to third. And that is the first run that has been scored other than the top 3 hitters in the lineup, with Davis scoring there.
And now Jose Ramirez. Doubled in a run in the second. He has scored 3 times. Gets away, but Yandy staying put at third.
No need. 9-2. No need to come home there. Indians today 7 for 13, 2-out hitting. They have been doing a good job, and that's why 9 runs are on the board.
Smashed up the middle. I think it hit Maurer, and it caroms to Mondesi, and the inning is over. Drive tacks on another. We go to the 8th. 9-2 Cleveland. Look out.
Clevenger started 6 innings, 1 run, 10 strikeouts for Clev. So it's all been good. Al Pulowski, Jensen Lewis here in center field. And Jensen, I mean, Clev, great offense. Pretty darn solid.
Offense put it out of reach. It was our 3rd key to Indians' victory tonight. They'd only scored 2 runs in the first 6 innings of the last 4 games. They got out in a hurry to help Mike Clevenger tonight.
No doubt we'll have plenty to talk about after the game on Indians Live. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Make sure you join us for that. Back upstairs we go. Matt and Rick,
I
take
just
it away.
want to know how long you've had the air conditioning unit out there. Don't think we didn't see that.
It is, but it's away from us right now.
Does not really work efficiently, so
Okay.
we'll get the engineers
Is
on
it portable?
I don't think this thing is going to be moved to any tailgates or any
it's
gatherings.
got wheels, but it'd be pretty tough to get it upstairs.
Okay. Just checking.
Understood.
We'll see you guys after the ball game.
You got
9-2. Indians on top here as we roll on to the 8th. Top of the order for Kansas City. Whit Merrifield 0 for 3 tonight. And a weak ground ball to second base. And the underhand flip is just in the nick of time as he has been retired for the 9th time now in the series by the Indians. A slight bobble almost cost Gonzalez there. But he recovered. Tito's going to make a pitching change. He's waiting to see if Ned Yost is going to challenge the call. He is not, and now Tito is free to make the pitching change. Brad Hand, I believe, will be coming on when we come back with 1 out here in the 8th. So gather your friends up. Come on down here to the ballpark. You can only get the tickets online. Indians.com/district ticket. It's $15. First drinks on the house. You got the corner down there in right field, the drink rails and left. It's a great time. And tomorrow, if you can knock off work or if you don't have a job, this is the place to be. 1 o'clock start. Going to be a beautiful afternoon once again.
Yeah, what a great homestand this has been, huh? Weather-wise, I know it might have been a little hot for some, but it's beautiful baseball weather.
Brad Hand facing Adalberto Mondesi, who was 0 for 3 tonight. 2 out of 7 in the series. And way out in front of that breaking ball.
Ooh, got him in the back foot.
Yeah. So Mondesi will be aboard with 1 out.
Down an 0-2 pitch, tried to throw that slider. He back foot him, but he sure did. It actually hit him in the back foot. If you watch it, you come down and he went to take that pitch and it went right off his shoe. So he will take his base.
Alex Gordon.
Gordon 1 for 3, hit the home run back in the 4th inning to get him on the board for their first run. That was his 11th on the year.
One pitch down low, 2 balls and a strike. He checks. That was a pretty good looking pitch. But it's called ball 3, 3-1.
Not a bad looking pitch, but you said it must have been either a little low or a little outside, one of the two.
Blooped on the infield, and Ramirez makes the catch. 2 down.
Well, Mike Clevenger had it working today. He was really dominant with a good fastball, and his breaking pitches were right on. Had 10 strikeouts, only walked 1. He was change up very good, elevated the fastball at times, and he struck out the side in the 2nd after putting the first 2 guys on 13 pitches. So he was nasty tonight. Another good start, another good one against Kansas City, and another nice one at home. He had 19 swings and misses tonight. And he's been very good after an Indians loss, and he continues that.
Hunter Dozier with a runner at first and 2 down. Looks at a pitch outside, ball 1. Hunter Dozier doubled in the second. He lined out in the fourth to short and struck out in the sixth. He's the last Royals hitter to strike out tonight, and that was the 10th strikeout of the night for Clevenger. Two balls and a strike. Brad Hand. The 2-1. And it's off to the right, out of play. The left-hander's 2-2. And another foul back. Well, we've seen it with Dozier and with Ryan O'Hearn, the on-deck man, these young hitters for Kansas City. They can get after that fastball. I mean, they look for it, they seek it out. And if you miss in the fat part of the strike zone, they can do damage.
Yeah, it's a matter of them getting at bats here at this level.
Yeah, Dozier's hitting 7 straight games now. The 2-2. Spanked up the left center field gap. And he's going to have another double. Around second, on his way to third. And heading for home is Mondesi, and he's going to score.
Well, he speeds up his bat. He threw him a breaking ball, and he crunched it into left center field. A double. His second double of the game. Well, Hand will give up a run. Watch the breaking ball. He stays down on it beautifully. Out over the plate. Extension. Left center field. They're not playing him that way. Davis was over in right center field. He plugs the gap. So easy for Mondesi to score all the way from first. It's a 9-3 game.
During his 7-game hitting streak, Dozier has 13 hits and 28 at bats. Ryan O'Hearn is 0 for 2. He walked in the second. And like Dozier, he's been red hot. Last 11 games coming into tonight. 5 homers, 4 doubles, and a dozen runs batted in. But Hand with that good breaking ball. And O'Hearn is in the hole 0-2. Swung on and missed. Ryan O'Hearn goes down hacking. 9-3 Cleveland. And we'll recap our forward storylines tonight. Ryan O'Hearn shut down by the Indians, and Mike Clevenger doing what Mike Clevenger does after an Indians loss. He was dynamite once again.
Yes, he was. Continues to pitch well in the Central Division.
Adam Rosales is going to get an at bat here to start the bottom of the 8th inning, as he will pinch hit for Edwin Encarnacion. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, Rosales was on defensively last inning. Rosales, 35 years old. He's been around, spent the whole year at AAA. We've seen him in the past with Oakland,
Texas, Cincinnati.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out, 1 down.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
And to bring up Brandon Geyer. Hamill between starting and working out of the bullpen, just 2 and 12 with an ERA over 6. By the way, Ryan Milowicki with the Indians letting us know that Yanni Diaz getting that home run tonight. Not only was it the first of his career, but it happened in his 244th plate appearance, making him the most patient Indians player to start his career since John McDonald. Johnny Mac homered in his 275th plate appearance.
No kidding.
Back in September of 2002.
Did you hear that, Andre? You can keep that for evidence and talk to him about it.
Don't you worry, I'm all over it. I think he's going to chase me once this game is over.
I mean, that's almost 16 years to the day when Johnny Mac got his first home run.
I'm going to compare him to Johnny Mac and see how he reacts to that.
Johnny Mac was just down in Akron watching the Arrows at the end of their season. Brandon Geyer down on strikes, 2 down. Take another look at it. First one in his big league career. 244th plate appearance. Oh, there's a sweet look from the blimp.
Yes, indeed. Look at it. Carry, get out, ball.
Yeah. Nicely done, guys.
Beautiful shot. Smiles all the way around. The happy trot.
Here's Brandon Barnes as he fouls one back. Is he taking a look at the replay, Andre?
Yes, indeed.
Baby.
It's about time you did that. They're watching you.
Right on time, Yandy, right on time. Swing and a miss by Brandon Barnes. Barnes, 32 years old. He also spent the entire minor league season in Columbus. Led the International League in doubles. Second in RBI. Is his first big league game since July of 2016 with the Rockies. And he strikes out to end the inning. We'll go to the ninth. 9-3 Cleveland. may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (9-3) Cleveland up as we go to the ninth. Cody Allen will come on to pitch for the Indians. Fifth pitcher of the night. He's got the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for Kansas City. Ryan Goodwin will lead it off. Hit by a pitch and scored a run on the 7th. In fact, 2 of the 3 runs scored tonight by Kansas City were both guys who got on because they were hit by a pitch. The other run was an Alex Gordon homer in the 4th.
Cody very good in his last outing against Tampa. Had his curveball, had his fastball working, both of them. See if he can come out and do it again.
Fastball missing up high. That one catches the corner. It's 1-1. Astros still lead the Twins 4-1. They're in the 4th inning. Down in Houston. He did not go on the appeal. I think I said the 4th. Astros and the Twins are in the bottom of the 5th inning with Houston up 4-1. Fouled back out of play. So if these 2 scores hold, the Indians' magic number will be down to 10 by the end of the night. Just a bit high. Full count. Cody Allen walks Goodwin. Alcides Escobar to the plate. He has 2 hits on the night.
Third baseman Alcides Escobar.
And the pitch is up high, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
Look at Escobar looking back saying, are you sure that was a strike? He's saying, yes, sir. It was right there on the inside part of the plate.
And a high pop. Looks like it might be playable here into foul territory. Barnes is there and makes the catch. 1 away. That's going to bring up Jorge Bonifacio.
Number 38, Jorge Bonifacio.
And a strike is called. Bonifacio picked up an RBI on the fielder's choice back in the 7th. He came on for Brett Phillips, who left the game with an injured shoulder when he ran into the outfield wall. He tried to hold up, but he went too far. It's 0-2. Cody zeroes in on the target. Checks that runner at first. The 0-2 on its way. Just missed with a really good breaking ball.
Yeah, that's where you want to keep it, right there, down and away. Good pitch. Didn't get the call.
That one is strike 3. 2 down.
He comes right back with a good curveball. Right there, outside edge. Bonifacio doesn't go after it. It's called a strike. We now have 2 outs.
Fastball up and away, ball 1. Cam Gallagher has struck out a couple of times tonight. Hit one about 10 feet in front of the plate his last time up. Fastball just missing low. Up high, 3 balls, no strikes. Just did catch the top of the strike zone. It's 3-1. Cody Allen ready. He fires. Full count. The 19th pitch of the inning. 9 balls, 9 strikes to this point. Hey, struck him out to end the game. 9-3, the Indians a winner. They stop their 3-game skid and go to 78-60 on the year. Winning pitcher Mike Clevenger, he's 11-7. The loss to Danny Duffy, he's 8-12. Kansas City has their 6-game win streak come to an end. They are 46-92. So a good bounce back win for the Indians here tonight. They got a great start from Clevenger. They scored early and often, and they added on as the game went along. And now the rubber match tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after this. 9-3 the final tonight in Cleveland.